Hi guys, this is Adarsh here, back to you doing a review on RcBazaar's brand new charger. This is the Wolfpack W6-AC charger from RcBazaar. This is a brand new charger. This is just launched and this is an 80 watts charger. I think most of you electric flyers would be very happy with this charger, and even nitro flyers too. So let's go ahead and unpack this charger today and let's see what the charger is going to offer us. Okay, I'm going to start opening the box. Let's see. Now this has got a nice well packed box. If you see, nothing is shaking inside, and it shows a very colorful, it's a very colorful box. It says, W6-AC, that's the charger's name. It's a 80 watts professional charger and discharger unit, and it's on the box. It's explaining you what and all features can it already do. Well, most of you may not use these features, but this feature is available in the charger if you want to use it or not. So let's go ahead and open this up. Okay, here you go. This is a very neatly packed charger for you. I think the charger is here and all the necessary needed connectors and wires are well packed here. So let's go ahead and open the charger. Here you have the manual and the charger itself neatly packed in a foam packing. So here you go. This is not a very bulky charger, which is very good, and the best thing about this charger is you don't have to run behind a 12 volts battery. This is already got an AC input for you, and hence the name W6-AC. That means you don't need a 12 volts battery to power it up. You can connect it to your 240 volts AC input and you can go ahead and charge. So that means you can charge it from home, or you also have, I think, connectors where you can charge it from the field from your 12 volts battery. As I mentioned to you, this charger is loaded with features, and let's talk about basics now. This charger can charge any battery. For example, your lithium ion, LiPo batteries, LiFi batteries for your receivers, NiCd, nickel metal hydrate, or even your lead acid battery, for example. It can charge and it can discharge. So both. And as I mentioned, this uses an AC input too, or you can also give 12 volts input from your car battery if you want in the field. Let me just mention about the salient features what this charger is going to offer you. There's a lot of features. For example, this has got a cell check and it will give you individual voltage of each cell. It's got a capacity check. It's got a IR, that is internal resistance check of each battery and each cell, and it's a balancer, of course. It can also be your brushed motor driver. That means you can run in your brushed motors if you're going to use a brushed motor, that is. And the other feature of this charger, I think this is the only charger which I find this is, you can have power to your hot wire cutter, or the other words, it's called foam cutter. Like you make your foam cutter by thin iron wires, and you cut your foam in different designs for your aerofoil, whatever. And a lot of people have to buy another 12 volts or 15 volts power supply for it. So, but with this charger you don't have to. This power supply, the output from this charger can give you power to your hot wire cutter. And it's got a lot of thrust calculator, thermometer, voltmeter, and whatnot. I think a very updated manual will be updated on the net very shortly, and you can go through all the features. Now coming back to the main features of the charger, this is offering you, this can charge from LiPo to lithium ion to LiFi battery to NiCads to nickel metal hydrates to lead acid batteries, name it, and you have everything here. And LiPos, lithium ion and LiFi batteries, you can charge it from 1S to all the way to 6S. I think not many people use more than 6S. Even if people use 6S or 12S, they're going to usually mostly make it in series. So we will be having basically two 6S in series. And as I said, this is giving you from 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6 charger ports also. So let's go back to the the function of this charger. Let's see how what all features will this offer you. Let's go to close-ups now. Here you go guys, the Wolfpack W6-AC charger being unboxed totally. Now this is what is in the box. You get the charger itself, and you have, as I said, this is an AC charger. That means you can power it with your AC power point. So you have a 240 volts power cable, and in case if you want to charge it in the field, then you have the power connector, which you can connect it to your car battery with a crocodile clips. And you also have one universal connector, that is with the DINs, because it comes only with the DINs because most of the battery manufacturers and the Wolfpack battery comes with a DINs connector. So we thought, why have an additional all the other connectors which most of the people don't use and yet you pay for it. So just to make it better for everybody, we have provided with the DINs connector. And in case if you need other connectors, of course you can also buy the XT60 or the JST or the normal battery servo battery connectors as an optional, which is available in RcBazaar. And now let's go and hook up this charger, and let's see the functions of these chargers. Okay, we have hooked on the charger to the AC port, and as you see there's a 3-pin connector which goes into your charger like this, and here we have the outputs here, and you have this red for positive and black for negative as usual, and we have the DINs. And today we are going to do all kind of experiments, and the demo will be done with a 3-cell 2200 milliamperes Wolfpack, because this is the battery which most of the electric guys or anyone uses. This is a very popular battery. This is a very popular size. So I guess I will be doing all the demo and all the functionalities of the charger with this battery. Now let's go ahead and switch on the charger. Let's see what happens. Here you go, the power is on. Now we take this 2200 milliamperes, and this is how you connect the DINs to the charger. Just make sure that you have connected the positive and negative polarities are correct. And this is your balance port, and the balance port, as I had mentioned, is available for 2S, 3S, 4S, 5S and 6S. So there are appropriate slots. So here you go for the 3S, and it's connected. Okay, here you go. We have hooked on the 2200 3-cell Wolfpack LiPo to the charger. Now this is the default screen which says program select lithium batteries. Now let's press enter or start. So it says, as I said, this has got a lot of features, like it can charge a LiPo, it can discharge a LiPo, it can balance charge a LiPo, it can fast charge a LiPo, and it is also, you can have the battery, the storage voltage. So let's see what are the different kind of features you have. So this is the LiPo balance, and it says charge. Now the other one is, if you press decrease or increase, you have LiPo discharge and LiPo storage. If you want to store, let's say if you want to store your LiPo for more than 2 weeks, please put them in the storage voltage by this menu, and you can store it as long as you want. And you can even fast charge. Let's say, if you're in the field and if you want to fast charge a battery, so you can use this feature which will charge your battery a little more faster than the normal. And this is the normal charger, where it doesn't use the balance port but charges charges the battery, be it 3-cell, 2S or your 6S. So today, let's see, I'm going to talk about how to balance charge your lithium polymer battery. Now balance charging is always good. I always balance charge all my batteries every time. So let's see. So I'm going to change the feature to balance charge. So this is now LiPo charge. So I don't want to just charge it, I want to balance charge it. So I'm going to change the setting to LiPo fast charge no, to LiPo storage no, LiPo discharge no, and yes, this is the one. This says LiPo balance charge. Now what is the settings what we have to go through. Now, at what current do you want to charge it? I don't recommend charging the battery for more than 1C. When I say 1C, as I said, this is 2200 milliamperes, that is 2.2 amps. So at the max I would charge it at 2.2 amps. Of course it is capable of taking more current, but unfortunately the life of the battery reduces. So let's say for now we are going to use the charger in a typical condition. So I'm going to charge it at 1C, that is 2.2 amps. So here you see 2 amps. So I'm going to increase this to 2.2. So how do you do it? You press enter. Now you see it first says, it's asking whether is it a LiPo battery. You say yes, it is a LiPo battery. You press enter and it's blinking. So the blinking is asking you what is the settings what you need to set. Like for example, if you change let's say if this is LiPo, you want to change it to LiPo or anything, you can change it by increasing, or this is lithium ion, LiPo battery, lithium high voltage battery. So as of now we are using a normal lithium polymer battery, that's LiPo. So we change to LiPo and it's asking you what is the current you want to charge it in. This is showing by default 2 amps, so we're going to increase it to 2.2. so as this is blinking, by pressing this increase button you can go to 2.2, or you can, if you're using 1000 milliampere, so it's going to be 1 amp, so you can reduce the current by decreasing the by clicking the decrease button. So in this case it's 2.2, so let's change it to 2.2 and you press enter. Now by default the charger is assumed that this is a 3S battery because you have connected the balance port on it. Now let's go ahead and start charging this battery. And to start the charging, what you have to do is keep the start button, that is this, the rightmost, extreme rightmost button, keep it pressed for 3 seconds and it's going to ask you a question which asks, is it 3 in series? So this is 3S pack, yes, this is 3 series pack, so press enter to confirm. Now here you see the current is slowly going up and it went all the way to 2.2 amps, that is what you've set. Now the voltage presently is at 11.53 volts and it is on balance charger, and this is the time consumed after you pressed start, and that is 20 seconds, and this is how much milliamperes the battery is taken from the charger. So also, as I said, we are doing a balance charge of this. So by pressing this button, that is the increase button, once it gives you the individual cell voltage. So if you can see, this is a 3S pack, so it's giving you only 3 voltages. So it says 3.88, 3.86 and 3.84. This is a perfectly well balanced battery is what you got from the factory. So, and if you had connected a 6-cell battery, you would have had the other 3 cell voltages also. So here it's also showing you, the slowly increasing in voltage as it's charging. So, and it stops at 4.2 volts. As you know, the fully charged LiPo pack is 4.2 volts per cell. So by pressing this again, you go back to the default screen. And if you want to see what is the capacity of the battery, I've set it to 5000 milliamperes. So which I'll be coming a little later for that, for even more details of the charger. So safety timers, temperature cutoff. So as I said, there's a lot more features which I need to speak to you about it. So as of now, let's talk about the charging of the battery only. So this is how you charge a 3-cell LiPo battery, and as the time goes by, and depends on how discharged is your battery, eventually you will get to 12.6 volts. So once that voltage becomes 12.6 volts, that is it goes to the constant voltage setup, and the current starts decreasing. From 2.2 it goes to 2.0 and 1.8, 1.7, it goes all the way to 100 milliamperes, and that's when it says charge complete and gives you a beep sound. So of course I'm not going to wait till the beep sound comes, because it's going to take at least half an hour, as it's in 11.6 volts and it needs at least another 1200 milliamperes, at least half an hour. So I'm going to stop the battery charge as of now. I'm going to explain the other features of the charger. Now let's go to the other features. This is the setup what you have to do if you want to charge the battery, a LiPo battery, without balancing. So you just have to go to the LiPo charge and keep the start button pressed for 3 seconds, and the same thing is going to ask you whether to confirm if it's a 3S, and it starts to charge. And of course it will not be doing a balanced charge but just normal charging. Apart from that, you have a fast charge, that is if you want to do it in the field. I wouldn't recommend doing this. I would still recommend you to do the balance charge, but you do have the option. Same thing, keep the start button pressed for 3 seconds and confirm it, and it's going to fast charge it. This is a storage. Now this is something which you need to learn if you want to store your batteries and you're not going to use the batteries for more than 2 weeks. A lithium polymer battery should not be stored. Again, I repeat, it should not be stored in a full charge or in a totally discharged status. It should be at the storage voltage, that is at 11.1 volts. Okay, that is 3.7 volts per cell. So all you have to do is go to LiPo storage setting, press enter. This is LiPo battery. Yes, it's a LiPo battery. It's asking you at what current you want to do it. So let's say, as I said, this is at 2.2, so let's increase it to 2.2. Okay, now I think in the storage it takes the maximum of 2 amps, not 2.2 amps. That's okay. So press enter, and it's asking me what is the voltage of the battery. That's a 3S. Yes, it's a 3S. So if I just click on this start and keep it pressed for 3 seconds, the battery starts to go to the storage voltage. Of course, it's just like a process of any charging or discharging, but what I would recommend is do not try and do a storage when the battery is charged. You know, it's the charger unnecessarily heats up as well as your battery heats up while it's discharging, and it's not good for a lithium polymer battery to discharge it from the charger. If you want to discharge it, use the airplane, or use your flight and discharge it. And after it is discharged, then you can always put it on storage mode, and the charger is going to charge it to 11.1 volts, and it's going to get it to storage voltage. In this case, if you see, it needs to get it down to 11.1 volts, and as of now the battery is at 11.5, so it's discharging the battery from 11.5 to 11.1. So again, this is also going to take some time, so I'm not going to wait for it. So I'm going to stop the storage. So this is how you have to go to the storage. As I said, this has got a discharge facility also, but I wouldn't recommend you to discharge it from the charger. If you really want to discharge it, use the use your airplane, your multi-rotor, or your helicopter to discharge it. So this is your balance charging, which I already explained to you. So now let's go back to some a lot of people are still using nickel metal hydrates or NiCd, that is nickel cadmium batteries. So you could have similar option like nickel metal hydrate charge or nickel metal hydrate discharge if you want to cycle the battery. So basically, nickel metal hydrate or nickel cadmium batteries, they have something called the memory effect. That means they should go through the charge and discharge cycle. Now of course, now here is when I would recommend you to discharge the NiCd or NiMH batteries. So the best thing to do if you want to cycle the battery is basically you need to go through a cycle of charge and discharge the pack. So basically you connect your NiCd battery. Of course, I'm not going to do it now because my LiPo is connected. So you connect your NiCd or nickel metal hydrate battery, go to a cycle mode. If you click here, it's asking is it nickel metal hydrate or NICd. So let's say we do an NiMH, and it's asking you want to charge and discharge or you want to discharge and charge. So let's say you want to charge and discharge. So it's C to D. Press enter. It's asking you how many cycles do you want. You want 3 cycles, you want 4 cycles. That means 1 charge and 1 discharge is 1 cycle. That means it will do that 3 times. So let's say we want to do it thrice. So this is a setting. All you have to do is just set your keep the start button pressed, and it's going to do it. Now before that, you should have entered what is your charge current and what is your discharge current. So let's say your charge current, if you are charging 2500 milliampere battery, so I would recommend 1000 milliampere half C for NiMH and NiCds. So you can go here and reduce it to 1.5. and that is charge. Go to discharge, and there also I'm going to put it as 1.5, and here it's asking what is the voltage you need to discharge. NICD or NIMH batteries, while you are discharging, take care. You should not discharge the battery for more than 0.9 volts per cell. So usually if you are charging a 4.8 volts old receiver battery, then you should set it up for 3.6 volts, that is 0.9 into 4. Or if you are going to use usually I think people use a NiCd or NiMH for your radio battery. That's going to be your 8 cell battery. So it's going to be 0.9 into 8 cells, that's going to be a 7.2. so you click, let's say if it's 1.5 amps you want to discharge, and your voltage set it to 7.2, so it's going to discharge up till 7.2 volts and start. So your cycle is ready by charging and discharging, and you can go ahead by pressing enter. Your battery is going to start cycling. So that's your NICD and NIMH programs. And as I said, this has got a lead acid battery also. That means you can charge your 7 ampere your field battery also through this charger. So you can charge it at 2 amps and 12 volts. So that's usually what the settings are. So your lead acid is done. So this is the battery type button. You can keep changing, and this has also got a user setting. So it says lithium battery check time. So sometimes the battery voltage goes low or high, so it should not say the charger is going to determine that the charger's the voltage is too high. So it's going to take 5. If you set this time, you can reduce or you can increase it. So it'll wait for 5 minutes until it determines what is the voltage. It will be charging during that time. Waste time. Waste time is basically the time taken for you to determine what's the time your battery, because while you're doing a cycle your battery is going to heat up. So between charge and discharge, how much time do you want to give the battery to cool down? And I would the D-peak settings, I wouldn't recommend you to alter this. Of course it's best to leave it at default setting for NICD and NIMH. The temperature cutoff is on for 80 degrees Celsius, so the charger sees senses the internal temperature, and if it goes beyond 80 centigrade, it's going to discharge. It's going to cut off itself. Then safety timer. Now let's say if you have put on the charger for a lot of time, and if you don't want the charging to happen more than 240 minutes. Let's say if you have put a battery on charge and you have forgotten about it, so it's going to wait for 240 minutes if it's not balanced or something. So the charger tries to keep balancing the battery, and if it's over than 240 minutes, it's going to cut off. It's going to say complete. Of course you can alter the time whatever you choose, and it's also possible to totally switch off the feature, but I would prefer it to be on, and better you set the time. What do you want? And capacity, it depends on what battery you're charging. For now I'm using a 2200 milliamperes, so while I'm charging a 2200 milliamperes, I would set this to 2200 milliamperes, or tomorrow if I'm using a 5000 milliamperes, then you can set a 5000. So this is a safety feature what's available. Now input power voltage. So as of now I'm using AC input, but let's say if you're going to use your car battery, you don't want to discharge your car battery so much that you are not able to start your car from the field. So I set it to 11 volts, so your car battery can go as low as 11 volts and the charger will still work. Anything lower than 11 volts, the charger will say input voltage error. Now apart from this, there's the volume of the beeps. Whether you want the key beeps on or you want the buzzers on. So of course these are features, best to keep it at default. The charging, you can reduce the wattage of the charger. The maximum is 80 watts, better to keep it at the maximum. So use the maximum of the charger what's going to offer you. So as I said, the lithium polymer voltage, the maximum termination is 4.2 volts. So of course it's not good to charge, it's not safe to charge a LiPo battery more than 4.2 volts per cell. So you can set it to 4.2 volts. There's a lithium, this is for lithium polymer, this for lithium ion is 4.1 volts, for LiPo it's 3.6 volts, for NiHV it's 4.35 volts. So of course by default you get all these settings. Lead acid battery is 2.4 volts per cell. So by default it's in English. You can change it to Dutch also by pressing increase or decrease. There you have Dutch. So I'm going to go back to English. So these are the features what the charger offers you. Of course you can also have memories of your battery in the charger, so you don't have to every time go change the settings. So you can go to program, select load memories. So it's got 20 model memories. So let's say once you say one is charge, discharge. You can choose 20 programs of, let's say, 2S, 3S, 4S, 5S. And you can also, as I said, there are a lot of other features, extra functions. Go to the extra function, press enter. After you finish the battery charging, all you have to do is click on the measure IR checking. So it's checking for IR. Now it says, as you see, there are 3 cell. It says 8 ohms, 8 milliohms, 9 milliohms and 10 milliohms, which is nothing. So that means this battery is very good. So you have measuring your IR, check battery. If you check battery, it says what battery, it's a LiPo. Then whether it's balance, you can check for balance. That is usually you do that while you're charging the battery. Digital power, brushed motor. Let's say if you have connected this output to your brushed motor drive and you click start, it's going to start feeding in your some amount of voltage to the brushed motor. So it will start braking in your motor. Then, as I said, this has got a hot wire foam cutter, so you can give power from this to your hot wire cutter. Then if you want to do your ESC and motor PPM checks, and the thrust calculator and external temperature measurements, and the kind of how much time the charger has been on for. And there are other features for this for which you need to buy different sensors and leads separately. So you could always measure your TX and RX signal output. So these are the few features of the charger. But yes, mainly I think I have used this video to cover mainly for a beginner how to charge and how to keep the battery, a lithium polymer battery, in a storage mode for safe usage of the charger as well as your pack. I hope this video was helpful to you, and thank you very much.